welcome back to Creative Writing Advice with me, JJ Barnes. I'm JJ. I am the author of How to Write a Story, which is out now on Amazon. I'm also a writer of storybooks. I have a film in production, a TV show in production. I have a writing advice blog. I'm over here on YouTube doing writing advice videos. If you're a new audience person, this video is going to be a little bit different. I put out a request last week to people who watch these videos saying I want to do a quick fire video, because normally what I'll do is if I get a question from somebody, I tend to dedicate a whole video to it, exploring all of the aspects of that question, referencing popular fiction, films, books, things like that. And I thought to keep it sort of mixed up and interesting, I would try and do a video where I try and get through a whole bunch of different questions, just smaller ones. So I asked for questions on social media and I set up an Ask FM account so people could ask questions anonymously if they wanted to, and I could sort of collate all these different questions. I've put them all in this very fetching little bag I stole from my daughter. And I thought what I'd do is I'd just go through them all, and yeah. Some of you did not stick to my usual topics, I'm not gonna lie. Normally what I'm over here doing is just writing advice and storycraft. So I think some of you were interested in me as a person, which is very flattering and very nice, and I genuinely appreciate how many of you sent me these little questions, so thank you. For people who are new, normally I don't talk about me particularly, but because people have asked and obviously want to know about me specifically in some of these questions, I will answer them. I'm going to answer everything I get, which is fine. Just, I'm not normally going to talk about myself so much, so new people who are here just for the writing advice, some of these I'm going to talk about story and writing. And that is normally what you're gonna get. So I've mixed them all up and I've put them in here as well. I don't know what I'm gonna get first. Yeah. Normally it won't be me I'm talking about, I promise you. But today, as I say, it's an experiment. If you hate this video, let me know. If you love it, let me know. If it goes well and you guys like it and are interested in what I'm doing here, I'll do more of them. Not all the time, obviously, but occasionally I will do one of these videos. If you hate it and never want me to talk about myself again and stick to the stories, Jude, that is what I will do too. So just, yeah, comment, let me know, love it or loathe it. So I'm gonna dive in. So, my little bag of tricks here. Question number 1. What would you do if you woke up in another body? Right, so as I said, normally my videos are one subject, and this is actually interesting because I've been thinking about doing videos specifically of writing prompts, because back when I used to do my Creative Writing for Kids series, I used to do every so often a writing prompt video where I would give a writing prompt, explore it, talk about how to think about it, how to use it for your own stories. And this is actually a really interesting example of a writing prompt, because what would you do if you woke up in another body? Because obviously you'd start by having to realize you're in another body, and how would that go? Because when I first wake up, I don't necessarily examine my hands or my body. I wake up, I sort of stagger downstairs and make coffee. So how long would it take me to realize I was in another body is an interesting question. So yeah, what I'm thinking is, whoever sent me this question, I am going to do a writing prompt video specifically about this question and how to use it to tell a story. I'm going to want to think about it properly, because I think there are a lot of ways you could think about this and how you would work out and what you would do. And I want to answer it right. So I'm going to do a whole video on this question. So thank you very much. Keep an eye out for that, because yeah, it's a really interesting question. Okay. What have I got? Why do people smoke? Because they want to, I guess. I don't. I've never smoked. I've never wanted to. Because they like it, and then I guess because they get addicted to it. I don't know. I don't smoke. I've never ever smoked anything in my life. I've never wanted to. So I'm not the best person to answer this because I don't know. Nothing about smoking appeals to me at all. So I don't know. But if you like smoking and you want to smoke, you do you. I guess because they want to try it and then they get addicted to it is my guess. But yeah, I don't know because I don't smoke. All right, let me have a go. Okay, this is a long one. Adventure and extreme with one person. Romantics and l'amour with the second one. Family and daily life with the third. Is it possible to have it all in one person? Yes, is my short answer. Of course it is. I have all that with my partner and he has that all with me. But what I would say is I think it's probably rare because there are a lot of people in the world. We're all different. We all have different experiences and different lives, and that's something that I really enforce when I'm talking about writing characters, right? You make sure that all your characters are different and unique and have different history and life experiences. So considering how many variables there are, the chances of finding a person whose variables connect with yours and you make a match is very rare. And I think a lot of people will settle with somebody who maybe ticks most of the boxes or maybe completes enough that they can cope with them, and then they look outside the relationship for other factors. Certainly that has been true of me my whole life until I met Jonathan. So I understand why a lot of couples split up, and I understand why a lot of people might wonder whether it's possible to get all of that from one person, because it's hard. It's hard to find somebody who actually matches you in all of those things, and it is possible. Of course it's possible. Like, it's definitely possible. But I think hard to find. Worth it? Worth it, of course worth it, because if you do find somebody who is fun and adventure in the same amount and style that you love it, and is romance and flirtation and sexuality in the same way you are, in the same amounts that you wanted, and is able to be that stable, committed, loving family person in the same way and what style that you want, it's a beautiful and incredible thing. So worth finding and worth looking for. But I understand people who stop looking and take somebody who fits most of that, or enough of that they can feel contented. But if you can find the person who does all that for you, then you've lucked out, I think, because statistically, finding a person in this world where there is so many people and your perfect match in that way could be living like on the other side of the world. Like, I'm here in England. The chances that I would find my person here in England and not Cambodia is statistically minute. But then there are multiple people who would match, because if there's that many millions of people and there's that many variables of personality types and experiences, the likelihood is there are more than one person who will mesh with you in that way. I'm rambling. Yes, it is possible. Is my short answer. And worth finding if you can do it. Okay. Interesting question. If you were a video blogger, what would your videos be about? Writing? Possibly someone who went on Ask FM without knowing me. Writing and storycraft. Thank you. What should people never forget? That's a really interesting question. I think people should never forget their past. And I know why a lot of people want to. Obviously there's parts of my past that I wish hadn't happened, and sometimes I'd like to forget, and I know that's true of, well, probably everybody. But I'm a firm believer that if we forget history, we are doomed to repeat it. And you should look to the past, but not dwell there. And that's two, I know, cliched things, but I try to live by them. I believe that we are doomed to repeat history if we forget it, and we see it a lot. We see it when we have wars, we see it when we have uprisings of the right-wing Nazi extremism things. When we forget what happens in history, including in our own history, we can do it again and make those same mistakes again and do damage again. And also look to the past and don't dwell there, because we can learn a lot about ourselves from our life experiences. You shouldn't dwell there. You should try and live in the now and look forwards. But if you forget your past, you'll forget you, because I talk about this when I talk about character backstory. Our scars and our wounds mentally, from our history, shape us. And I wouldn't be the person I am now, and I wouldn't be the writer I am, and I wouldn't be the mother and the partner I am if I hadn't experienced the things that shape me into who I am. I'd be a different person, and maybe she'd be a better writer or a better mother. Maybe. I don't know, but I know that I have learned a lot about myself and who I am from my past, which is what I put into my characters, that they have been shaped and changed by their experiences. So I think what we should never forget is our past. That is my answer, because it makes who you are now. And who you are now is the best you, in my opinion. You don't want to be someone else, you want to be you. That is my answer. I hope that's okay. Okay. If you could be any person in the world for a day, who would you be and why? I might be one of my cats to find out why I keep pooping on the carpet, because they've decided to reject their litter box suddenly, and that would be nice. I'd like to know why, because I'm buying all the right cleaning things, and I'm buying the right litter, and I'm doing all the things that everything says, but they've decided to reject their litter box. So I would like to be one of my cats, find out what is going on in their little feline brains, because it's really annoying. Very, very annoying. Like, ugh. Have you followed bad advice? Which one? What happened? Probably I have. I've stayed with ex-boyfriends because people told me that they were great guys and I should probably trust them, and terrible advice, but obviously I broke up with them eventually. Let me see. The thing is, right, this is something about me. You'll ask me these questions to get to know me better, right? So I'm going to just waffle about me for a minute. I'm really bad at following advice because I'm really stubborn and really pig-headed, and I like to make my own mistakes, and I like to decide what to do for myself and learn as I go. So the advice I follow and seek out, like obviously writing advice and storycraft, I've studied and studied and studied, but that's not really advice because that is something I chose to study. That isn't me going, I have a problem, advise me. That's my work. So it is advice. I do writing advice because I have used it and studied it. So, but that's good advice. Bad advice. If I have a personal problem, if this is about personal problems and not work and story and stuff, yeah, I am terrible, because I would rather make mistakes and learn from them myself than do what I'm being told to do by other people. So I'm probably a very bad friend, because I'll be complaining and complaining about something, and they'll tell me to do this, this, and this, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to do that, that, and that, because I like to do it myself. So I'll think about that. As I say, the only advice I ever seek out is work-related. But that's not, as I say, that's not really life advice. But, well, yeah, I am terrible for following advice. Let me see. Oh, I got two. Who has the most beautiful eyes? Well, my daughters. My kids. Both of the girls. And my stepson as well, so I'll cram him in as well. My 3 children, my 2 daughters and my little boy, they have the most beautiful eyes in the whole world. Rose has beautiful green eyes, Buffy and Zeke have beautiful blue eyes, and yeah, you will never see a finer pair of eyes on a person ever. Post a picture of your bed. Okay, that's my bed. That's where I sleep, and that's where my partner sleeps. And what is the safest place in the world? For me, safest place in the world is my home, because that's where I feel safe. I have a lot of anxiety a lot of the time about strange places and strange people and strange circumstances, and I have to coach myself through that a lot. But I never have to coach myself through being in my home with my family. So for me, personally, the safest place in the world is my home. I mean, technically, the safest place in the world is probably like some underground billionaire's lair where they've got all like tons of security and security cameras and bars and bulletproof things. But I'm not Bill Gates, so my house does not have that stuff. But I'm still safe here. Do you have OnlyFans? No. I mean, obviously, no. But if you want to give me money, there is a link on my website where you can donate to my PayPal, because all my writing advice videos and my writing advice blog, I don't earn any money from. Not yet, anyway. I would like to one day, but I don't. So if you are looking for an opportunity and an excuse to give me money to help support me on my ventures, please go to jjbarnes.co.uk and find the PayPal donate button. Thank you. But no, I'm not going to take my clothes off for that. And trust me, you wouldn't want me to. Believe me. Why is everyone around me depressed? How can I make them happy? Right, so again, I'm going to reference this to writing advice because I think it's relevant. As I said before, when you create a character, you give them scars, wounds, emotional pain, because it makes them an interesting character, right? If you have a character who has none of that, they are not interesting and they're not relatable, because we all have that. We've all had to go through growing up, and life is painful. It's hard. People hurt you, and you have to carry the weight of other people hurting you, and then you have to carry the weight of you hurting other people. And that can be really difficult. I don't know specifically why everyone around you is depressed. I can only guess. And I guess it's because life is difficult, like I say, and that's what makes us human, is carrying the scars and emotional pain of our history. And as I say, you put it into characters. You have to put it into characters so that they are relatable and human. And that's because we as humans are in that situation. We are carrying our pain. We are carrying our weight of history that has damaged us. And how can you make them happy? I don't know. By loving them, I guess. That when I've had my friends or my partners or anyone struggling with depression or mental health in any way, you can't just fix it because it's too in. It's not something on the surface that you can just knock off them. It doesn't work like that. It's in. And the only way you can do anything is just by loving them and not blaming them and not being angry with them and really not trying to fix it, because that treats that kind of pain like it's a superficial wound, and it's not. And all I do and all I need if I'm struggling is just to feel loved and accepted. So that would be my advice. Just love them, let them know that you care, and let them know you're there for them, and it won't heal it. It won't just make them happy immediately. That's not how life works, but it's the right thing to do, in my opinion. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I have life experience, and my life experience would say love them. Okay. What is your favourite restaurant and where is it located? Oh, you know what? I love food. And there's so many answers to this. Right, so my favourite curry restaurant is Bengal Lounge, which is on the High Street in Stafford. My favourite pub restaurant for comforting pub food is the Sun Inn. My favourite pizza restaurant, if I fancy pizza, is La Casa on Mill Street in Stafford. My favourite restaurant for really feeling amazing is in the south of Spain, and it's called Via Tropicana, and it's on the beach, and you can sit on the sand on a table, and they have amazing pizzas and wine, and oh, I love it there. That could be my favourite, but I never get to go there, so I can't really count it as my favourite because I haven't been to Spain in years because I can't afford to go on holiday. Believe it or not, being an unpaid YouTuber doesn't really afford holidays, so I will discount that. And it would either be La Casa for pizza, Bengal Lounge for curry, or the Sun Inn for hearty pub food. And I'd have to pick between, but then it depends what mood I'm in. Depends on the weather. Like if it's really hot, obviously you want to go for the pizza, and if it's really cold, you want to go for the pub food and have the big chunky chips. But then obviously curry suits any mood. This is I really love food. This is a very stressful situation for me trying to pick one. Bengal Lounge. But I'm not sold on that because food's amazing. Okay. How do you come up with your story ideas? This might be another one I do a video on, because that's a really big topic. How do I come up with my story ideas? I'm going to do a whole video on this question. So I will answer it, but not now because that's too big. Oh, my last one. Okay. What's your favourite quote or verse from a holy text? I'm the wrong person to ask this to. I'm really sorry. I don't have one. I am not religious. I really not religious at all. I went to Catholic school, which kind of sealed my fate of not being religious. But my point is, I don't have one. I wouldn't know where to begin. Any of your religions, sorry. But you wanted to get to know me, clearly. This is the point of this video, and I hope I've gone through for you. But I don't have a holy text reference. I don't know any. It's not my area is stories and fiction, and I can talk to you at length, obviously, about all of those and what they mean and what I've learned from them and how they've affected me as a human and how stories have made me want to be a better person, things like that. But holy text is not my area. I can't answer that question. I'm really sorry because it's the last one. I'm out. So I'm sorry to end on a disappointing one. But if you have enjoyed this video and like getting to know me and been interested in my answers, send me some more questions. Clearly this was a very different video to normal, but that's cool. It's nice to mix it up a bit and yeah, just try something new. And it'll say if you hated it, I just won't do it again. It's fine. But thank you very much for watching. I will be continuing with my normal routine of a writing advice subject. I I release on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9:30. Now obviously if you've noticed last week I didn't, and you might be able to hear it in my voice now. I was so poorly last week, I couldn't even stand up. So with school germs and everything, there might be times I skip a day or a few days, but generally I'm trying to do every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9:30 and cover all kinds of writing advice subjects, storycraft. If you are interested in any specific writer or any story, book, film, TV, anything like that, let me know what you want me to talk about, because I can look at that specific thing and work out what we can learn from it. Which I'm hoping is really helpful to you and making you feel like a better and more confident writer. So thank you very much. And if you do want to get to know me more myself like this, but without doing a video, I'm on all the social media. If you go to jjbarnes.co.uk, you can find my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram. I'm very active over there. I'm in the writing community. I'm always talking about stuff. So come find me, and yeah, hopefully I will be able to do what you need me to do. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back again soon. Bye.